My experience with a religious interpreter. Hi, I saw one story about an interpreter. They refused to stop interpreting. So I wanted to share this story with you that happened about 20 years ago. The student was in NTID in New York. One of the teachers asked me to sit in on the class while the interpreter was interpreting ASL. There was a bunch of students sitting in the classroom. The teacher was a cool man. I'll tell you more about the teacher later, at the end of the story. So they were going around about where he lived, growing up, chatting, about friends, just doing some storytelling. Everyone was taking turns. And then it came around to this one particular student. And no one stopped. They just kept on going. It was a deaf student's turn. The student finally interrupted and said, "Excuse me." And she said, "I'm religious. I'm a Christian. Please don't swear, okay?" And I was shocked. The teacher looked at the student, and the student looked back at the teacher. Kind of an awkward moment. So it kept going, and the teacher wanted the student or the interpreter to keep voicing, and the interpreter kept swearing, and he kept signing, going on about his story. And then it came the turn for the next person. Finally, it was time for the class to end and everyone to leave. And the student came up and said, "I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt class, but, and they said, "Well, you have to accept what we say." And the teacher was a strong Christian, always faithful in going to church. But the teacher drew the line there. 5 years later, they happened to meet the interpreter. And he happened to have that moment come back into his head. And so I wanted to apologize. And he said, "For what?" And they said, "You remember the class, the voicing class, when the person interrupted? Should not have interrupted." And I said, "Why?" They said, "Because I realized that religion, was separate." And they were like, "Wow, good for them."